e tabua e o si sambe mo rekan roka adoro mo kon tabua ando tele taka na waro na pula FM namba 2 e na sir
bola na go ilimo do tele taka na FM na go sa sector to na pula FM
bola o tsempo ni valu ngone ni kandabu ni mo kisa o ba chiku na sinu ando tele taka bali na waro na pula FM na bantu na sir
o lori mai na ga ni suka lambasa to do tele taka na bola FM na bantu na sir
Bola FM.
This is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. In this bulletin, gravel extraction licenses to be expedited. Police get tough on cases of domestic violence. And bribery charges against 2 policemen and a businessman. Two police officers and a businessman appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court this afternoon charged with bribery and abuse of office. They have been charged by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption.
Corporal Samuel Ndakuitonga is charged with 1 count of bribery and ASP Ifremi Savo is charged with 1 count of abuse of office. Parad Jogia is charged with 1 count of bribery. It's alleged that between September and December last year, Jogia offered a return air ticket from Suva to Lambasa and hotel accommodation worth more than $300 to Corporal Ndakuitonga. This was alleged payment expediting an investigation. Corporal Ndakuitonga is charged with 1 count of bribery for allegedly accepting the advantage. ASP Savo is alleged to have abused his power in accepting payment from Jogia to conduct a police investigation. The 3 have been bailed with a bond of $1,000 and sureties. They have been ordered to surrender their travel documents and report to FICAC office on the last Friday of every month. The case will be recalled on the 18th of this month.
The government is expediting all approvals of gravel extraction licenses and the acquisition of land for the construction of rural roads. This follows the signing of a 3-year agreement on the development of rural roads throughout Fiji. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
We can expect more rural roads to be built throughout the 4 divisions in the next 3 years. But as we speak, there is a huge shortage of gravel.
One of the major issues facing road construction and expediting the road construction is the availability of the gravel or the aggregate that needs to be of the right quality and indeed needs to be available in the right quantity to be able to carry out many of these works.
Under the 3-year rural road development program signed yesterday, divisional commissioners have been directed to help obtain all approvals needed to access gravel and land to build the roads. To this effect, gravel extraction licenses will now be issued for up to 5 years. Currently, they are for a 1-year term.
But with the longer term licenses, we will now be looking at the sustainability of that activity within the area that's been identified, whether you can extract that amount of gravel for that number of years, and also the other studies like a geotech survey, looking at the sustainability of the activity and the soil erosion and things as such.
On the other hand, gravel extraction is causing problems for people living near the extraction sites. Villages up the Navu River and the Ndawasamu River in Teilevu are up in arms over the environmental impact as several companies are taking gravel from the 2 rivers. Lands Minister Merseni Buniwanga says consultations are always done prior to the granting of licenses.
Depending on the locality of where the extraction is going to take place. If it takes place on the Dalkey land, then of course consultations will need to be carried out with the relevant landowners. Similarly, if it's freehold land or otherwise leasehold land, with the relevant landowners. The issues we've highlighted are environmental issues which really should be raised, brought to the right authority.
Gravel extraction licenses are issued by the Itoke Lands Trust Board. The term of the license issued will depend on the volume of gravel available for extraction from the particular site. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
There is a delay in paying out special constables who served additional hours from 2011 to 2015. Acting Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithiven Ngilio says they're going through the final verification process.
More than 1,000 special constables will have to wait a while longer as the Fiji Police Force gets all the paperwork sorted.
There has been changes in pay rates in those 5 years that we're working on. That has to be further verified and calculated. Some of them have taken day-offs and we shouldn't be paying them for those days. They've been given day-offs for that. But I have my Skype sessions with the divisions on Mondays and Fridays.
Brigadier General Sithiven Ngilio says he had hoped to pay out earlier, but the pending issues need to be validated. He adds there will be no public announcement of the payout date until he's informed all concerned policemen and women.
Some of the men and women from the Special Constabulary have resigned during that period. Some have retired. So that final verification is going on now. And we'll get it to our finance people who will work that out. But we have a timeline which, like I said, I'll tell the men and women involved first before I divulge it to the public.
Payment for outstanding hours has been overdue for the last 5 years, and in some cases, officers are owed for over 1,000 hours of work. Akusita Talei, FBC News.
The Fijian Elections Office has this afternoon started the destruction of sensitive material from the 2014 general elections. Under the electoral decree, the Elections Office may destroy records in relation to an election after 1 year. Supervisor Mohammed Saneem says a registrar has been prepared to record the equipment, ballot papers and other documents which are being shredded. All material will then be recycled.
We are conscious that there is around 1 million pages involved in this destruction process, and we are going to engage an environmentally friendly procedure to destroy these records. The manner of destruction is also now an internationally practiced norm, which is to recycle ballot material.
The papers are being shredded at the William and Gosling's compound in Lami under strict police supervision. The Registrar of Political Parties is advising the suspended National Federation Party to get audited accounts from an auditor certified by the Fiji Institute of Accountants. Registrar Mohammed Saneem says this is needed before the NFP can be re-registered as a political party. Akusita Tale has more.
The Registrar of Political Parties says his office is open for consultation with the suspended National Federation Party. While they don't give legal opinions and advice, the registrar is available to any party that wants consultations.
Once the registrar is furnished with the certified audited accounts, the suspension will be uplifted. And so far we haven't received anything from the NFP in that regard, apart from a lot of media statements that they have made.
The National Federation Party has been suspended for 30 days, and Saneem will review the party's position near the end of 30 days to see if it has complied with the law. This is the only means to have the NFP's suspension lifted.
Initially the suspension is for 30 days. However, in the event its compliance has not been achieved, it can be extended for another 30 days, after which a notification to show cause will be issued to the NFP.
Saneem says they haven't received anything so far from the suspended NFP or from the registered officer of the party. The due process has been explained to party officials. Akusita Talei, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, more than 300 Chinese visitors arrive on chartered flights.
And I love Mirchi FM.
Hi, my name is Sonny from Canberra. I love listening Mirchi FM online.
मैं हूँ उर्मिला देवी आसियासी तावा से जितेन शांडिल को और अश्निल को तावा में लॉक कर दिया जाए.
हम लोग यहाँ से कतो कमे मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है. मिर्ची एफएम is hot.
I'm Shelly in Tonga Nursery. Mirchi music simply bindas in nursery.
मैं अशफाक बालू हुसैन मिर्ची FM मेरे नस नस में.
Mirchi FM.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. A foreign national is currently in police custody after he was found carrying assorted items suspected to be used for ATM skimming or for the unlawful act of obtaining cash from automated teller machines. The foreigner arrived into Fiji on a Fiji Airways flight from Hong Kong. The 49-year-old remains in custody with border police for further investigation and questioning. He was searched by customs officers at the Nadi International Airport yesterday. Perpetrators of domestic violence will be produced in court within 24 hours under a new directive. Acting Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithiveni Ngilio emphasizes this will include police officers alleged to be involved in domestic violence. Farzana Nisha has more.
Acting Police Commissioner Ngilio says domestic violence within the force is a no-drop policy case.
If somebody does that, I've given out clear warnings that it will never be condoned. And they will be produced through the courts as well, like every other citizen, rather than trying to deal with it internally. And on Monday, just this previous Monday, I've given clear directives that I want perpetrators produced in court within a 24-hour period from when the offence was done.
Ngilio says there was a significant rise in reported domestic violence cases last year, 26 cases in October, 32 in November and 42 in December, perhaps because leaders have started speaking out on the issue.
This could be attributed to the fact that they are more confident in coming out to report it. As you're well aware, that was the time when the Prime Minister started addressing the issue, and also His Excellency the President spoke on that as part of his release before Christmas and New Year. So it gave confidence to women to come forward and report this. So most of those cases too were long cases that happened some time back, and they had come out to report them. So in regards to that, it's not really for us. It's not really a negative that has happened. It's a positive thing that people are coming out now.
Ngilio adds if the measures he has put in place to curb domestic violence do not work and the statistics do not go down, then they will come up with stronger causes of action to fight the problem. Farzana Nisha, FBC News.
The government will ensure our port and border agencies are efficient and working coherently. Permanent Secretary for Trade Shaheen Ali highlighted this while speaking at the Import and Export Charges Workshop in Suva today. Ali Kimbia has more.
In order to find more trading markets, the government is improving services at all ports and various border agencies.
Ultimately, what we want them to do is facilitate trade, facilitate quick clearance of cargo. And why do we want that? Because we want to reduce the cost of doing business, cost of doing trade, and that will benefit all Fijians.
Permanent Secretary for Trade Shaheen Ali says air and seaports as well as border agencies need to be well resourced to be on par with services overseas.
The government has also to think about that we need to identify and make access available to resources, both financial and technical, so that the right infrastructure, the processes and procedures can be put in place in these agencies.
Even the Commerce Commission has identified that there are areas to work on. Chairperson Joanne Yang says these mostly deal with operational matters which slow down trade on a day-to-day basis.
Lack of supporting documents given to the importers and exporters by the agents, the need for brokers and forwarders to substantiate the regulatory fees and charges, the lack of disclosure on fees and charges, and non-itemization of the bills.
The Ministry of Trade is calling on various stakeholders to share information and apply correct practices to ensure that quality services are provided on our borders. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Fiji Airways flew in its first chartered flight from Beijing, China last night. Rosie Holidays has chartered 4 Fiji Airways flights to bring in passengers from Beijing and Shanghai to celebrate the Chinese New Year in Fiji. The island of Rotuma, the newest aircraft in the Fiji Airways fleet, bringing in more than 300 Chinese tourists on a direct flight from Beijing.
All of these visitors are coming in with money in their pockets, sense of enthusiasm to be able to enjoy a beautiful South Pacific setting. And of course, when they left Beijing, it was -10. and to be able to arrive into a tropical environment at about 30 degrees Celsius to be able to start their Fiji holiday, enjoying the Chinese New Year is something I know that they're very excited.
Rosie Holidays Managing Director Tony Whitten says this has been a learning process for the company. He adds they've been working for almost 10 years in trying to understand the Chinese market and now have exactly what it takes to entice more visitors.
The model is we basically hire a plane that leaves here from Fiji Airways, that leaves here at 7 o'clock on Friday night, and we return it to Fiji Airways 7 o'clock Saturday night. So we're literally hiring the plane for 24 hours.
Fiji Airways Chief Executive Andre Fillion says this is a milestone for the airline's charter business. Another 3 chartered flights will be arriving in the coming weeks, 2 from Shanghai and another from Beijing.
Obviously, we're very proud that we can work with Rosie Tours to partner together to bring people from Beijing directly here. So a very important day.
The first lot of visitors were welcomed by President Chochi Kondrote at the Nandi Airport last night. We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Vinaka Jackie, and good evening. Coming up, Fiji's 7th side ready for tough pool in Sydney. And Fiji FA calls on fans to come out in numbers for first leg of CVC. This and more coming up.
Bula, I'm Dori from Nasinu Market. My choice is simple, Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
My name is Yvonne. I'm from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Sayandra, my name is Sunny. Only the Gold FM at Golden Point Resort, Raki Raki.
Hi, I'm Anna of Nasinu. When it comes to a radio, my choice is always Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
My name is Anna and I'm from Nandi. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The chance to regain the lead in the World 7 Series will not get any easier for the Vodafone Fiji 7 side. Its first hurdle will be surviving a tough pool in the Sydney Sevens this weekend, which includes Argentina, France and Samoa. Talenda Dakadaka reports.
Fiji has an impeccable record in the pool stages of the World 7 Series.
So yes, it is a tough pool, but I think, on the back of Wellington and the energy the boys have got, it's no bad thing that we've got difficult games in our group.
But Ryan sees Argentina as the toughest challenge against Fiji.
I'm sure they're learning every time that they lose to us, and I expect an incredibly tight game against Argentina. Samoa, well, it's going to be the Pacific Island rivalry will be fierce in this game, and it's the opening game of the tournament, so I expect again another very close battle. We've got France who, as we all know, beat us in Cape Town, one of the only 2 games that we've lost all season.
The World 7 Series champions they are. Talento Takavaka, FBC Sports.
Former Wallabies and 7 stars Glenn Ellen, Jim Williams were on hand to welcome several teams to Australia for the Sydney Sevens. The 2 rugby legends also shared their views on how the game has evolved since their glory days. The Sydney Sevens will be played on Saturday and Sunday, and of course you can catch all the action live right here on FBCTV. The Westfield Dragons wants nothing less than a win at the inaugural West 7 Series. And its administration says that it's not just for the glory of the win, but also for the welfare of its players. Josephine Navula has the details.
Returning to their normal training routine after participating at the Bailey's Fiji Coral Coast Sevens last month, these players won't stop until they reach their target. Coach Epeli Langiloa says his motive is to expose the players to a higher standard of performance.
We are doing what we can, as always. We are trying to prepare the team to the best. And come game time, we will say whether we are confident enough for the boys to go and play.
Langiloa adds securing a win in this first leg is crucial for the team.
Winning the prize money is the pay. The club doesn't have any cut in all our prize money for the tournament. So it's a full-time thing for the boys. I mean, they're coming from all over Fiji. Just like their fathers and then maybe the uncles coming to Nandi to look for employment, and this is their employment, full-time employment.
West Sevens tournament organizer Bill Tandranu says they are expecting a huge crowd to turn out to see the top teams in action.
It's so surprising to see that, sevens tournaments, even new sevens tournament like ours, are getting a good response from local sevens teams. Right now, we have about 35 teams either confirmed or interested to participate.
Tandranu adds they also have women's category for the competition. The first leg of the West 7 series will be held on Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th of this month at Prince Charles Park in Nandi. The winning team will get to walk away with $5,000. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Cricket. Fiji is content with the national under-19 side's performance at the World Cup in Bangladesh.
It did show us some weaknesses on which we will build up from there. There are opportunities for Fiji cricket to develop from there.
Fiji will take on Afghanistan on Friday in the plate quarterfinal. The Fiji Football Association is calling on fans to come out in numbers to support Nandi and Suva in the Pillay Garments Champion vs Champion series this weekend. The two-match series promises to deliver entertaining football, and both teams will be boosted by the services of national under-23 reps that were part of the recent tour of Spain.
This being the first match of the year, well, the season started with IDC, but in 2016, this is the first match of the year, and I'm sure there are a lot of expectations. There should be a lot of fireworks.
Nandi will face Suva in the first leg of the CVC series on Friday at 7 p.m. at the NZ Stadium. The return match will be played at Prince Charles Park in Nandi on Sunday at 3 p.m. The Newcastle Knights Rugby League side will have 5 Fijian players in its ranks during the NRL Auckland Nines tournament this weekend. Fiji Bati reps Aquila Uwate and the Sims brothers. Tariq and Coburn will lead the Knights charge of the two-day tournament. A total of 13 Fijian players. The tournament will be played on Saturday and Sunday at Eden Park. That's it from sports this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Major repair works by Fulton Hogan Highways joint venture is making a difference to the Kings Road north of Corvo town. Works include construction of batters or earth slopes, road excavation and alignment of roads. The section of Kings Road undergoing work included the recently completed Verata Strait as well as the sites of the Naimborembore and Kasavu landslides. A landslide in Kasavu last year resulted in the loss of half of the road when a section became waterlogged and slipped down the hill. To ensure there is no further slippages, Seven trucks, making several trips a day, have transported approximately 12,000 cubic meters of fill material. Some showers were experienced over Yasawa, Lomaiviti and the Lao group, the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands today. Isolated afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms prevailed elsewhere. Looking at the temperatures, fairly constant in all centres today, hovering in the low 30s. Tomorrow it's mostly cloudy conditions and showers are forecast for the Fiji group, and the further outlook is for cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere fine apart from afternoon or evening showers. Northeast winds 10 to 15 knots, moderate seas. Recapping the main stories for tonight. 2 policemen and a businessman charged with bribery-related offences. Gravel extraction licences to be expedited to keep up with demands for roadworks, and police get tough on domestic violence cases. On to our poll question for this week, we are asking, do you know what the Zika virus is? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Bye for now.
I'm Sarah. I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy. I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah. I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa, and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila. I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.